well, first let me woosah. Okay, if you don't know anything about the 10-10-5 method, it's where you pull in air. You pull in air 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. You hold it until 10, and then you release for 5. Not abruptly like, but it gotta be like nice and slow. That always seems to help. So, okay, boom, check this out, right? How about I almost oofed somebody? No, I'm serious. Like, I'm to the point where I'm just trying to get over my head, but it's like, so I'm gonna just jump right into it. All right. So, okay, so check this out. You know how sometimes we as human beings, that we have these intuitive thoughts. You feel me? Like, we'll have these thoughts where maybe sometimes you could be at a restaurant and you think of somebody, you just want to get them something to eat and bring to it. Sometimes you do it, sometimes you might not. Maybe, you know, you getting ready to walk to a store, you see somebody come out, something like hold the door open or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be to the point where, I don't know, just, you know, this random thought come into your mind to do something. You know, sometimes you may do it, and then other times you may not. And then, like, when you get alone and you think about it, it comes back on your mind, and you're like, dang, I should have did this, or I should have did that. You feel me? So, like, it was one of them times right there, right? So I went on break, and while I went on break, I was in this store. It's a store that has a restaurant in it, right? So I'm in there, and I'm in line. It's like about 4 people in front of me. It's actually 5, but you know, that person left, so it's 4. I'm looking, right? So that person leave, the 5th one leave, and then, you know, you got the 4 people that's in front of me, and I'm paying attention to it, and I'm noticing that the cashier who's doing the checking out and everything, it was just something about this girl. I don't know what it was that literally had caught my attention, and it was just something that was just basically saying, like, look, in a way, you know. I don't know what it was. It was her energy. It was, I don't know what it was, but it was something. I just started watching from when I went to like the 4th person, to the 3rd person, to the 2nd person. Yeah, and so by me watching, I noticed that something was extremely off. She was in pain. Like, I don't know how I know that she was in pain, and it really didn't even matter at that time. It was just to the point where I wanted to give her a hug, but I didn't want to scare her, you know. I wanted to give her a hug, but I didn't want to scare her or whatever. So and this thing just kept eating at me. It kept eating at me. It was, you know, it was just like, you should say something, you know, like, I don't know what it was, but by the time it got to, it was one other person in front of me, and I'm noticing, you know, I'm looking at her, and I'm seeing it again, and all of the signs that she's giving off is that something is terribly wrong. And she's at work, though, you know, and she's greeting people, and she's ringing people up and everything. Yeah, she's doing that part, don't get me wrong, but the point is, something inside of me, deep inside, was basically telling me that I need to say something. And I am so thankful that I did. Okay, so this is how this went. When it was my turn to come up there, she was like, hi, how you doing? How can I help you? And, you know, I told her what I wanted, this, that, da. And then while she was ringing me up, I hear it's saying it louder. It's saying it louder. Say something, say something. Say something, say something. And by me being a bit shy, I didn't. And so I said, thank you, have a good day. She said, you too. And I walked off. It's screaming now. Really? You ain't gonna say nothing? I turned around and I went back. But I waited till she didn't have no customers. And I didn't want to just like seem like I was stalking her or whatever, you know. So I went and got like a bag of chips and went back up there when she didn't have no customers. And then after she was like, you know, how can I help you? And you know, I put the chips up there and everything. And then after she gave my change back, she was like, have a good day. And I said, sweetie, and she looked at me. I said, listen, whatever it is that you're going through, don't worry about it. Just know it's going to be okay. All right. And I hope that you have a great, blessed rest of the day. All right. And I walked off. And so while I'm over there, I'm walking off. I have like some paper in my hand. And I'm going to try to open these chips and this juice or whatever that I got. And I'm putting the straw into the whatchamacallit. From the back, I feel a tap. Whew, I was just playing over my head. I turned around. It was her. She said, it had to be God. I said, what do you mean? She said, you were the only person that stopped me from committing suicide when I got off of work. And I just want to thank you. I gave her a hug. And I told her, you're not alone. God has his ways of how he reach out to people. So you just keep being strong and keep doing what you're doing. I don't know how I know what I knew. But one thing that I do know is it's going to be okay. And you keep striving. You keep going. You keep staying positive. You keep doing the right thing. And just stay focused. All right? So if this message go out to anybody who out there, anybody going through anything, listen, remember that same thing. A lot of people out here, we're literally going through things and being silent about it and let it literally kill us on the inside. But it shows on the outside without even being able to say anything, not one word. You don't hear it. A lot of people, they just keep it in. They don't share it. They don't talk about it. They don't do anything. And in my mind, that if I hadn't stopped her and said what I said, I probably would have killed her. I saved somebody's life today. How many times have you saved somebody's life? Or how many times have you killed somebody by not saying something that you felt you should have said? Time to be vocal. Time to let out what God has put on the inside. Time to rely on yourself and remember that you're not alone. You're not walking these roads alone regardless of how much it may look. You're not. And ma'am, if you're watching, remember what I said. Please take those words, okay? Continue to do the best that you can. Stay focused. And listen, when things start being rocky and shaky for you, let me tell you something. Just know it's something good on the way to you. You got to be tested, shooken, and tried before great things happen. So remember that. All right? And stay focused. Stay vigilant. Keep your head on the swivel. I'll talk to you later.